We must know that as the entire 10 Sfirot are considered according to the highest Sfirah, so if it is Keter, then all of the Sfirot is regarded as Keter, and if it is Chokhmah, they are all Chokhmah. By the same manner, every world is named after its first partzuf.
Ask, maybe I'll draw something, because I see that many people around the world are just sitting without any books, so make it more understood. Ask, I'll draw and explain. What didn't you understand? Suddenly, no questions? Yeah.
What does it mean? He said that the root for all of the worlds is in Chokhmah.
Light comes from Ein Sof. Look at the drawing. This light is clothed in Adam Kadmon, Olam HaKeter, or the world of Keter. Then it's clothed in Atzilut, which is Chokhmah. Then Bria is Bina. Yetzira is Zeranpin. And Asiya is Malchut. So according to that, we have lights. Now in every olam, every world, there's a zivug da'aka from the previous world that gives light to the world below it. That's how it works. Every upper world performs zivug da'aka in order to fill itself upon its own reshimot. Then it performs a zivug da'aka to fill the world below it, and then the light can go downward. That's how they all work. That's the connection between the partzufim, or between the olamot. Now, between Atzilut and Bria, we have Parsa. Parsa. So the light of Chokhmah can only shine till here. And below, only Chasadim can illuminate. What else did he say? I don't know, ask. Ask about all these things till here. Yes, Akoka.
He wrote here that every 10 Sfirot are considered according to the highest Sfirah in it. If it's from Keter, then all of the Sfirot are considered as Keter. So how come it's 10 Sfirot if they're all Keter?
But the top Sfirah illuminates its character to all the bottom Sfirot.
So what does it mean that they're all Keter?
There's a difference between an educated person and an uneducated person, a great musician or some street sweeper. But in somewhat they're equal, and in somewhat they're not, they're different. So he's saying this difference of spiritual attainment, what's the highest part of the partzuf, that is what defines the character for the whole partzuf. And according to that, we count the partzuf. That's how we call it.
So where are the 10 Sfirot here?
There's 10 Sfirot and everything. There can be more or less. But how we call those 10 Sfirot, Chokhmah, Bina, Zeranpin, Malchut, doesn't matter. It's always 10 Sfirot. It's always Havaya. Just the quality of that Havaya. That's what we're speaking about. Yeah.
He also writes later, so by the same manner every world is named after its first partzuf.
Yeah, according to the upper partzuf, the highest one.
So it's like, it cancels the world.
Just like in the partzuf itself, attaining the top sfira where the light enters from the creator or from the higher partzuf, which is the same thing. It enters a partzuf through the keter. So according to that, we call. That's the name of the partzuf.
So there's like a law here that whatever is the highest, it cancels everything that is in the lower one. So nothing remains in the lower one.
I don't understand what you just said.
Well, because that's what it says here. It says if the highest sphera is Keter, and then all the 10 sphirot are Keter. Or if it's the highest partzuf, then it's like that's the whole world.
Yes, that's why Ak is called world of Keter. Atzilut is Chokhmah, because the highest sphera, the top quality, is either Keter or Chokhmah or Binah. In Bria, it's Binah.
So what remains of the lower one?
All the lower ones support that. All the lower sphirot support the highest sphera. The highest sphera, let's say, is in contact with a creator, and according to that, we call the partzuf.
So they exist in order to sustain the upper one.
So either what? That's how it always is. Every lower one keeps the upper one.
So they don't have a reality of their own, an existence of their own.
No one in spirituality has an existence on its own, but as much as it supports the upper one, and everyone towards the creator. That's a law, spiritual law.
I don't know if it's correct to ask this way, but you said that in the Zivug, the Haka'ah, coupling through striking, the highest degree pulls the light for the lower one, right?
Yes.
It extends light from a degree which is above it for the one that is below it?
Yes.
Thank you. He says that the world of Ak is not the root of the worlds, the Olamot.
It is the root for the Olamot, but we don't count it because it's the root. We don't count it usually. There's nothing in it. Olam Ak takes the light from Ein Sof, where it's one light, Ein Sof, without a difference in Malchut of Ein Sof, with no parts, and it starts dividing it into Kachabzon and Neran Chai. That's the role of Olam Ak. It doesn't diminish the light. It just divides it according to degrees of Aviyut and the Neran Chai.
He also writes that it doesn't appear in the worlds. It doesn't appear in the worlds.
Right, because there's no tzimtzum there yet, just dividing the light.
So the difference is because of the restrictions?
The difference is in the quality of Keter. Oh, let's keep going.